honor, so I offer up my whole life. Got a strong wife, righteousness my only type. Isha on my side when I ride, I'm an Israelite. Resurrected out the valley, now I'm moving mountains. Latter rain flood the plains, it's a spirit fountain. I never feel the outcome, cause I only feel the alpha. I meant the olive to the top, I can't live without him.
Man is unstable in all his ways. Gotta trust the most high to provide, you can't waver. You gotta have faith, you gotta have faith. Never give up, no. Double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Gotta trust the most high to provide, you can't waver. You gotta have faith, you gotta have faith. Never give up, no.
I'm just like that tree planted by rivers of water. A river lives within me, so it flows like water. Gotta account for my actions, I do what I order. Obedience comes with sacrifice, I'm trusting the Father. Faith cometh by hearing, but your actions should follow. Gotta change and repent, that might not be your tomorrow. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Yeah, he say one thing, but do the opposite thing. If he ain't keeping the commandments, your sacrifice is in vain. Come before the throne of the Most High, you should be ashamed. If you hate your brother in your heart, you got the spirit of Cain. Unwavering faith, it can help you change your ways. But you can't doubt it, you can't break in reality, that ain't faith. Through frustration and tribulation, you gotta seek his face. Gotta endure to the end, cause that's how you win a race. You can't attain the prize if you can't do what it takes.
A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Gotta trust the most high to provide, you can't waver. You gotta have faith, you gotta have faith. Never give up, no. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Gotta trust the most high to provide, you can't waver. You gotta have faith, you gotta have faith. Never give up, no.
James chapter 1, verses 2 through 8. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
He keep on blessing me. 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 He keep on blessing me.
God gave me, let the devil take it, take it.
He keep on blessing me. He keep on blessing me. He keep on blessing me. He keep on blessing me.
God gave me, let the devil take it, take it.
Sent his son to die for me, never got tired of me. It's the Most High for me, know he gon' slide for me. All in my trials with me, when I call on him he listen. Gotta please my God, I'm persistent. With commitment there's consistency. I'm prepared to go the distance. No Satan gon' stir up mischief to make it lose hope, that's his mission. God with me, who could be against me? With the vanity, you gon' have to miss me. I got joy even when I get afflicted. In the spirit, I gotta stay lifted. Double crafty, can't let them trick me. I was wicked, but I repented. Dedicated my life, I meant it. Back then, used to serve in the trenches. Now I just wanna preach his word in the trenches. Holy Spirit right there to assist me. I'ma hit my shot, won't miss it. Producing more horsepower like pistons. Eternal life, yeah, that's my mission. He keep on blessing me. He keep on blessing me.
God gave me, let the devil take it, take it.
He keep on blessing me. He keep on blessing me. He keep on blessing me. He keep on blessing me.
God gave me, let the devil take it, take it.
Gotta live by the Great Commission. Make disciples and preach repentance. The wicked ones gon' feel attention. Lake of fire ain't no detention. Won't waste my time, I entertain dissension. 2/3 ain't never gon' get it. Peculiar people ain't never gon' feel it. I speak truth, I don't care about feelings. Fair not, cause your house I didn't. Hard still, I'm standing on business. No fear, the enemy ain't winning. I know the gospel, so I gotta defend it. Can't love God if you're practicing it. Your pastor lied, you can tell him I said it. We can debate the lie. Better make him look silly, I don't take credit. Yahweh gets the victory. Ain't got short time and it ain't no mystery. Same old tricks, you can take the history. Kill, steal, destroy, you know what his mission be. Master at deception, but ain't deceiving me. A child of the promise, man, I'm truly
devil take it, take it. Bless me, blessing me.
Shalom, family. One of the most important things is for us to be holy. Now, what does that mean? That means we have to separate ourselves from the world and build unity and community. Grab yourself a shirt that expresses that message, and let's not just talk about it, let's live it.
Ain't no free will, it's all predestinated. From every death to every child brought forth through copulation. From the spouse that you choose to your current occupation, you either receive mercy or Yahweh's indignation. I can recollect on times that I could have been dead. Caught lacking, no strap, I had a knife instead. Played it cool, he wanted to kill me for how I used to move. Had to match his energy, portrayed that I was strapped too. But inside I'm praying to God, hoping he don't shoot. Still I'm whooping, telling him I know what he won't do. It ain't for everybody. 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 Yeah, many you call, but few get chosen. Matthew 22 and 14. My righteousness gonna exceed that of the Pharisees. Do what they. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shalom, family.
Hey, peace, brother. Peace, family.
So first, we want to start off as we always do by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, whose name is Yahweh, and we do so by Shem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. I'm your brother Hurt, and today's lesson is Daniel in the Lion's Den, the power of faith. So all praise to the Most High. We are thankful that the Most High has allowed us all to be here, to still have life in our body, have breath in our lungs, to allow us to be able to join you for this lesson, to give this lesson, and for y'all also to be able to join us to receive this lesson. And we pray that the Most High allows it to be edifying. And all praise to the Most High. Ak, you got anything you want to say?
Not much to add on. Just all praises to the Most High, of course, first and foremost. And shout out to everyone that's able to join in with us on this evening, whether it's live or whether if it's on the playback of the live video. We appreciate all your support. Make sure, just as you see within the comments, to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell so that you can get alerts for when we either go live or upload music or different lessons that aren't on the live sessions. And if you're on the Facebook platform, make sure to like/heart the video. And also, as I put in the comment section, if you're able to join that link that's placed below, that's the YouTube live link. It's a better viewer experience if you utilize the YouTube link. So I would definitely suggest that. And also, if you're on the Facebook platform, make sure to utilize that highlight to direct people into the live as well. But I don't have anything else to add on. I'm looking forward to the lesson, brother.
God, all praise to the Most High. And let me check out who has commented. So shalom, Sister Wendy, the First Lady Dree, and to everyone else that may have joined and may have not commented yet. Shalom to you too. All praise to the Most High. So without further ado, I will go ahead and get into it. You can go ahead and get your screen shared.
Okay.
And we're going to start with the first 4 verses. And like the pinned comment says on the screen, everyone, thank you for helping us grow the kingdom of the Most High by liking, commenting, and sharing the video. Please subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss out on future lessons.
Okay, you said Daniel 1?
Yeah, Daniel 6, Salakia. Daniel 6, verses 1 through 4.
Okay. This book of Daniel, chapter 6, beginning at verse 1. It pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 princes, which should be over the whole kingdom, and over these 3 presidents, of whom Daniel was first, that the princes might give accounts unto them, and the king should have no damage. Then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes, because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king thought to set him over the whole realm. Then the presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could find none occasion nor fault, for as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him.
Khan, and shalom, Sister Diamond, April's love, shalom, sis. So verse 1 and 2, it says, it pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 princes, which should be over the whole kingdom, and over these 3 presidents, of whom Daniel was first, that the princes might give accounts unto them, and the king should have no damage. So when it talks about presidents, these are basically overseers, and Daniel would be the first overseer, and he would be basically second in charge to the king, which is King Darius. So when we look at verse 3, it says, then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes, because an excellent spirit was in him. So it's letting us know why Daniel was placed in this higher position, because he had an excellent spirit in him. It says, and the king thought to set him over the whole realm. So let's look at excellent in Hebrew, so everyone can be tuned in to what this really means, and it gives us an in-depth explanation of the character that David had and the spirit that he had.
This is H3493 Yatir, and it's an adjective / adverb, and the usage says as an adjective, preeminent, surpassing, extreme, extraordinary, exceedingly, extremely, and then the definition says preeminent as an adverb, very, exceeding, exceedingly, excellent.
So he excelled, and he had a greater spirit than his counterparts. So when it says that he's extraordinary, he's extraordinary. He's not ordinary. He's greater than the ordinary. So this is why Darius viewed him, and he studied him and saw that the spirit he had on him was a mighty spirit, and he wanted him to be first in charge under him. So verse 4 says, then the presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could find none occasion nor fault. For as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him. So the first thing that comes to my mind when I read this is how Satan, the devil, he's the accuser, right? He's looking to find fault with us, to find us guilty before the Most High, so that we can be found not blameless when it comes to how the Most High views us and as far as our conduct is concerned. So when we look at this, it says that they had no occasion to find him at fault. And this is what we're supposed to be striving for, that when we do have enemies or we do have adversaries, someone that's against us, they can't find fault with us to say and accuse us of something that would be deemed unrighteous. They may talk about us, slander us behind our back, but is it true what they're saying? This is a battle that we should be prepared for each and every day. Let's go to 1 Peter 5 and 8.
It's the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse number 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
Right. They were operating as devils. Let's get Satan in the Greek. Salakia, adversary. Let's get
Oh,
adversary.
adversary. Con.
Salakia. I'm telling one of the words by accident.
Con. This is G476. It's Antikikos, and it's a noun and a masculine. Outline of usage: opponent, an opponent in a suit of law, an adversary, enemy. And the definition says an opponent in a lawsuit, especially Satan, as the arch enemy, adversary.
An adversary, an enemy, someone that's against you. And it says especially Satan as the arch enemy, adversary. So this is letting us know this isn't exclusively going to be applied to just Satan. This could be any man or woman that could be considered an adversary, just like Satan. Let's get devil in the Greek also.
Okay. So this is G1228. It's diablos. It's an adjective. And the usage says prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely, a calumniator, false accuser, slanderer, metaphorically applied to a man who, by opposing the cause of God, may be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him. Then the definition says a traducer, especially Satan, false accuser, devil, slanderer.
So just like they were looking to falsely accuse Daniel in the book of Daniel chapter 6, we see right here a devil is prone to slander. It's someone that will accuse you falsely. This is what Satan, the devil, is looking to do with each and every one of us. He wants to accuse us falsely of not being refined through the fire, not being real gold. And the only way he can do that is by tempting us to get out of character, to do the things that we're not supposed to do. And if we fall victim to that, then he can say, hey, I was right. He is fake. He isn't real gold. He hasn't been tried through the fire. So his false accusations, his slander can actually become true if we give in to temptation. If you want to add something, you can.
Con, just quick point, because I think the first point in Daniel 6 was really important, because it said that he had an excellent spirit within him, and they couldn't find an occasion against him, right? And so you see a similar scenario, or many times a similar scenario, with a lot of the righteous men within the Bible. One in particular that's most important is Christ. This is Matthew 26, and I'll begin at the top. It says, got it, the ESV, it's fine. It says, when Jesus had finished all these sayings, he said to his disciples, you know that after 2 days the Passover is coming, and the Son of Man will be delivered up to be crucified. Then the chief priests and the elders of the people gathered in the palace of the high priest, whose name was Caiaphas. Keep in mind who these people are. These are people of renown, and it even mentions the high priest as well. Verse 4, it says, and plotted together in order to arrest Jesus by stealth and kill him. But they said, not during the feast, lest there be an uproar among the people. So this is premeditated, a premeditated plan to basically murder the Messiah. And again, this is an upright man, a made man, and literally a made man in Israel, one that's done nothing. Peter said he spoke no guile, he did no sin, all of those things. But you see the people there, there are still people trying to find occasion against him, so to speak. Another point I wanted to highlight, just going back to that excellent spirit point. Very important that you move with integrity. I'm gonna read this, and I'm gonna yield back. This is the book of Titus, chapter 2. And in context, Paul is giving wisdom to the Bishop Titus, and he's in the land of Crete, or the island of Crete, and he's giving some counsel to young and older women. But this is general wisdom that can be applied to anybody. So look at verse 7. It says, show yourself in all respects a model of good deeds, and in your teaching show integrity, gravity, and sound speech that cannot be censored, so that an opponent may be put to shame, having nothing evil to say of us. So that's always going to be a situation with upright men, and it's always going to be counted as slander and evil speech against a righteous person, because in all actuality, the things that they're saying, they're not true. But if you're actually given occasion for them to speak against you, then you're not going to be counted as a Daniel. You're not going to be like, and they just persecute me, and they hating on me, and I did nothing wrong. Well, it's like you kind of did this, you kind of did that. Whereas Daniel, he didn't have those things on his jacket. Whereas Christ, he didn't have those things on his jacket. But excellent lesson thus far. I just wanted to highlight those 2 points.
All praise to the Most High. Good point. And like even when you think about something like when we were in school and you had tests, right? If you got an A, you did excellent. So when we look at it from the standpoint of Daniel, in any test he had to face, he had to pass it because he had an excellent spirit. He was able to excel. A beautiful point that Aaron highlighted also to go along with it. If you could give me 1 Kings 11, verse 14.
It's the book of 1 Kings, chapter 11, and this is verse number 14. And the Lord stirred up an adversary unto Solomon, Hadad the Edomite. He was of the king's seed in Edom.
And I'm going here just to look at this word adversary in the Hebrew, because we looked at it in the Greek. Let's see how close it is to what we read in the Greek also.
This is a word, or this is H7854, shatan, and it's a masculine noun, and it says adversary, one who withstands, adversary in general, personal or national, superhuman adversary, Satan as a pronoun, a noun proper. And then it says an opponent, especially with the article prefix Satan, the arch enemy of good, adversary, Satan, withstand.
So this Hebrew word is satan, and anyone could be considered satan, ha-satan. It says, and the Lord stirred up an adversary into Solomon, Hadad the Edomite. He was of the king's seed in Edom. This is a person, this is a man that is being used as an adversarial spirit against Solomon. And of course, this was done because of the bad things that Solomon had done, because at the beginning of this chapter, he went and took all these wives of these different nationalities, and he started to worship idols. He started to get into idol worship and false gods. So when we look at that, what we understand also that the Lord stirred up this adversary against Solomon, because nothing happens without the authoritative approval of the Most High, where he allows these things to happen. So understanding that the Most High, he allows us to be tested. He wants us to be tried and proven. So when we do have situations like this, we understand that it's divine, that it's not anything that happened by chance, but the Most High wants us to be able to get through these tests and these trials to prove ourselves. Let's go to Isaiah 54, verses 15 through 17.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, beginning at verse 15. Behold, they shall surely gather together, but not by me. Whosoever shall gather together against thee shall fall for thy sake. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. So
that we see that no weapon that's formed against thee shall prosper. And we know this is used worldwide, where people believe that no matter what, no weapon formed against them is going to prosper. But in context, we see where it says, this is the heritage of the servants of the Lord. These are the people who actually serve the Most High. It says, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. Understanding what faith is. The name of this lesson is Daniel in the Lion's Den, the power of faith. In order for no weapon that's formed against you to prosper, for it to prosper, you would have to have faith. And that faith don't just mean I believe. It means that I believe and I do what's necessary and what's required of me in order to enact this protection that the Most High, this hedge of protection he's going to place around me. It's because it's part of my heritage, because I serve the Most High. So looking at verse 15 says, behold, they shall surely gather together, but not by me. Whosoever shall gather together against thee shall fall for thy sake. So this is the Most High letting you know that if there are enemies that come against you, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do, these people going to fall. They're going to fail at their attempts to destroy you, to scrutinize you, to slander you, whatever it is that it may be. So, Ak, if you want to add something, you can before we continue reading in Daniel 6.
No, nothing to add, King.
Con. So let's just read the next verse in Daniel 6. Let's read verse 5.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 6, and verse number 5. Then said these men, we shall not find any occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his God.
So they knew and understood that this attempt to try and slander him, this attempt to try to find him guilty of something, it was going to fall flat. They were going to fall flat on their face in their attempt. So they said, hey, we're not going to find occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his God. Not that they're going to be able to find something where he's saying, okay, I'm righteous to the Most High, and they're going to be able to find where he isn't. Just the fact that he serves the Most High God, they're going to use it against him in some kind of way. This is what they're getting at. Let's get Ephesians 6, verses 11 through 12.
Okay. It's the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, beginning at verse 11. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
We got to understand our fight. And we got to understand who we fighting against, because it's always going to be spiritual. The fight is spiritual. It's never a physical fight just because there are physical human beings coming against you. It's a spiritual war that we're in each and every single day. We're in a fight every day to prove to the Most High who we really are, that we have been refined through this fire, that you're not going to make us give up on our faith and give in and lose hope and just say, hey, I'm just going to take the easy route because it's too hard to fight off this flesh. And I'm sick of people playing with me, and I'm tired of not fulfilling my lust. I like to do that. It feels good to me. Why can't I do it? At least just this one time, because that's how the devil works. We're fighting against spiritual wickedness in high places. So we got to be prepared for that fight each and every day. Hawk, if you want to add something, you can.
No, that's an excellent point, King. Nothing to add.
So let's continue reading Daniel 6, verses 6 through 9.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 6, beginning at verse 6. Then these presidents and princes assembled together to the king, and said thus unto him, King Darius, live forever. All the presidents of the kingdom, the governors, and the princes, the counselors, and the captains have consulted together to establish a royal statute, and to make a firm decree that whosoever shall ask a petition of any God or man for 30 days, save of thee, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions. Now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing, that it be not changed according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which altereth not. Wherefore King Darius signed the writing and the decree.
Khan. So when we look at verse 6, it says, then these presidents and princes assembled together to the king and said this thus unto him, King Darius, live forever. All the presidents of the kingdom, the governors and the princes, the counselors and the captains have consulted together to establish a royal statute and to make a firm decree that whosoever shall ask a petition of any god or man for 30 days, save of thee, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions. And they lied because they didn't go to Daniel to ask him. He's one of the presidents. They said all the presidents of the kingdom came to this agreement. It says, now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing, that it be not changed, according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which altereth not. So they're trapping Daniel in this situation because they understand that the law of the Medes and Persians, you can't change it for nothing. Once that law is made, it's made, and there's no way you can get out of that being altered. So it says, wherefore King Darius signed the writing and the decree. So basically they plotted against Daniel because they like, we're going to get him in this way, shape, and form because we know he's going to pray to his God. We're going to see what Daniel does. And we're going to continue reading. Let's just read the next verse, verse 10.
God, it's the book of Daniel, chapter 6, verse 10. Now, when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his God, as he did aforetime.
So Daniel knew the writing was signed, it says. And after knowing, he went into his house and opened his windows. It said his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his God as he did aforetime. He's like, I'm not going to stop doing nothing I've been doing just because y'all have signed this decree for somebody to get thrown in the lion's den. I'm still going to continue to pray to my Father. And he continued to do that. And when you look at it from his standpoint and his mindset, he stood on business and he knew that my faith, I'm not going to waver in my faith because it is like, should I fear man? Nah, I only fear the Most High God. So just like the Most High allowed this situation to happen for me to be tried, my faith to be tried and tested, he'll make a way out of this too. And that had to be the mindset that Daniel had, Salakia. Give me Proverbs 28, verse 1.
Con. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 28, and verse number 1. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are as bold as a lion.
He could have easily just said, you know what, I'm still gonna pray. I'm gonna close my curtains. I don't want to see in here. I know they got this decree out about praying to somebody other than and asking a petition other than to the king. So let me close these blinds so they don't see in here. Nah. It says the wicked flees when no man pursueth, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. If there was somewhere where Daniel lacked and he was not a blameless man, he would have been afraid to pray to the Most High in front of these people because he knew if I pray in front of these people, they're gonna throw me in this den of lions, man. They're gonna tear me up. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna be destroyed. But nah, his faith was, I know I'm as righteous as I've been. The Most High has given me wisdom to know and understand that as long as I rely on him and do the things he asked me to do, he's going to preserve me. That's why it says the righteous are as bold as a lion. Only the righteous can be this bold, to trust that the Most High going to have them in any situation. Give me Hebrews 4 and verse 16. And shalom, Brother Drayson. Right. And this is what someone would say. People would say, like, they'll tell you don't wear your fringes. Oh man, y'all letting people know who you are. You gotta use wisdom, man. You ain't gotta wear them things. Nah, that's you wicked or something. You scared because if the Most High really got you, it don't matter if you got fringes on and they see you out in public and they hate Israelites. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you because the Most High is gonna be with you. Unless it's just time for you to be a martyr. Go ahead.
God, that's the book of Hebrews chapter 4, verse 16. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to him in time of need.
Come boldly into the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. If, let's just say Daniel cowered, and let's just say he did close the blinds, he closed the curtains and prayed because he had fear of man instead of fear of the Most High. And let's just say one of these wicked princes, they came to spy and they came and peeked in the door. Oh man, he's in there praying. Come on, y'all, let's go tell King Darius he going to the lion's den. Maybe he would have got destroyed. Maybe he would have got tore up by those lions because he didn't come boldly into the throne of grace to obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. He feared, and that fear is wavering in your faith. And when you're wavering in your faith, the Most High don't work for you like that. Ak, if you want to add something, you can.
Con. All praises to the Most High. Great points. And you know, something that's interesting is you continuously see like a theme. So back in Daniel, I was kind of pondering on this a little bit earlier. When you read Daniel chapter 6, verse 5, those same adversaries, it says, then said these men, we shall not find any occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his God, right? Now, what's interesting is that these particular men, and you even see it, you know, spread out in different eras as far as, you know, different timestamps and different peoples of the nations and worlds and, you know, world and things like that. People are aware that we have a God that we're supposed to serve and act correctly in the midst of, right? And you see this similarly. I'm going to pull it up. It's in the Apocrypha, in the book of Judas, chapter 5, and I think verse number 17. Yeah, I'll pull this up. This is the book of Judas, chapter 5, and verse number 17. It says, and this is in regard to Israel, and whilst they sinned not before their God, they prospered. So when the Israelites didn't sin, we prospered before the Most High. And you can read this, and this is outlined in Deuteronomy and also within our history. When we were in righteousness, we got to enjoy the fruits of the labor. So, you know, quote unquote. But it says, because the God that hateth iniquity was with them. So the Most High is with us when we're doing the right things, or like I said earlier, our spirit is excellent within us. We're doing the things that the Most High desires. But it says, verse 18, but when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs. And the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. And watch this. I'm going to jump down to verse 21. I'm going to get to the point. It says, but if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by. This is the heathen. Lest their Lord defend them and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world. So I brought this out to speak to the point that other peoples, whether they are servants of our God or, you know, whether they're of other nations or not, they're aware that we have a standard that we're supposed to uphold, and we have a, you know, a bar of righteousness or a bar of morality that we have to walk in line with. And when we step outside of that line, then bad things happen to us, and we're more susceptible to be conquered and overcame. Other peoples know that. That's why you see what you see in the book of Psalm, the 83rd chapter, how the nations, they conspire and they want to blot out the remembrance of our people because we're connected to our God or our patron deity. So the people of Israel are supposed to be the people of Yahweh, the people of God. And so they have a particular law and a set of statutes and things of the sort to follow. But if we don't know about those things, we're ignorant of those things, then we're going to go further and further into apostasy, and will be easier to conquer and be ruled over by. So I just wanted to highlight that point as well, because it's understood that the way to make Daniel fall is by finding occasion against him within the law of his God, because Daniel, he's not going to give anybody any room, unless it's in, obviously it's in conflict with the law of his God. He's not going to, for the sake of the government, commit idolatry, to appease the government. He's not going to go that far, but Daniel, he's not going to make it easy as far as, okay, this dude is a criminal, it's easy to persecute him now. Daniel's not going to make it like that. So they're like, well, you know what? We gotta find a way in his law, the law of his God, to get him hemmed up. And obviously Daniel, he didn't go for it, right? But wanted to highlight that point. You got it, King.
King, all praises. And a beautiful passage in Judith also. Let's get Hebrews 13 out, verses 5 and 6.
This book of this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, beginning at verse 5. Let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have. For he hath said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee, so that we may boldly say, the Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me.
Con. So when we look at, what it says, that we won't fear what man shall do to us, that's the thing. We shouldn't be worried about, at the end of the day, what man is going to do. We should be worried about the Most High and what he says in his word, because we know those words are true. So our faith should remain strong based off what he told us. It says, let your conversation be without covetousness. And this conversation, this word, like as we always talk about, this word conversation doesn't just mean the words that come out of your mouth. It's also your actions, your conduct. It says, let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have. For he have said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. Now, Daniel, he didn't covet their acceptance. He didn't covet anything else that he could receive by just saying, okay, if I do, I'm looking for the word. If I allow what they're saying to inspire me to move according to that for acceptance and for however I can benefit in any way, let's just say I do that. He didn't even think that. He didn't think those thoughts. He always thought about, what does the Most High want me to do? I don't covet acceptance from men and how they feel about me. It's all about what the Most High says and feels about me. We definitely have to adapt that mindset, being who we are in this day and age, being set apart, not being like the world, because people will look down on you, they will demonize you, and they will talk so bad about you just because you know and understand that we're supposed to keep the laws of the Most High, and that you're actually really supposed to follow the Messiah in the same manner that he walked this earth. But people will think that you're crazy or call you crazy and demonize you to other people. Family members even do this. Family members and people that were close friends before you acquired this knowledge. So we have to have the same type of mindset, not coveting the acceptance of man and the way that we can benefit from how they view us. It says, so that we may boldly say, the Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me. Daniel definitely had this mindset. He didn't fear getting thrown into a lion's den. Can you imagine that type of faith? Like, you're about to be thrown into a den full of lions because of your faith to the Most High. You continue to pray to the Most High, continue to serve the Most High, regardless of what somebody was going to do to you. Y'all, we actually might be living in the time period where our life may be threatened for our faith, because there are going to be martyrs before this time is over, before the kingdom comes in. People gonna get thrown into prison, like the scripture tells us. People gonna get killed for their faith in the Most High and in his Son, the Messiah, Hamashiach. But if you don't want to add anything, we can continue reading in Daniel chapter 6.
Kind of just one quick point. Just add on to what you said right there. This is the book of John chapter 16, because this happened to Christ and the disciples. It's the book of John chapter 16, verse 1. It says, I have said all this to you to keep you from falling away. They will put you out of the synagogues. Indeed, the hour is coming when whoever kills you will think he is offering service to the Most High. And they will do this because they have not known the Father nor me. But I have said these things to you, that when their hour comes, you may remember that I told you of them. I did not say these things to you from the beginning, because I was with you. So Christ is speaking, is relaying this same message to the disciples, because even the Jews, people that believed in the Most High, had a particular zeal, had a particular knowledge, they were gonna take, him, Christ, up in the disciples, and they were gonna, kill him and persecute them because they believe this is the right thing to do. But Christ's expectation, and even the Most High's expectation, wasn't for you to cower down or to, become ashamed. That's why, when Peter, the situation happens with Peter, as far as him denying the Messiah and then calling down direct evils. That's why Peter is so remorseful and sorrowful, because he actually, that was something very shameful, because you have, so many times where Christ, he's telling the disciples, hey, these things are going to happen, just, hold on and keep the faith. Their hour is coming. I'm already telling you what's about to happen. Peter, he's still, he falls short, but then he ends up repenting and he ends up having to deal with the persecution anyway, as you read in the book of Acts. So in order for you, matter of fact, one last point that I'm gonna yield right here. In order for you to, actually, receive, the good things, it actually takes tribulation, right? I'm gonna get this in the book of Acts, and then I'm gonna yield right there. So this is the book of Acts. Let me see. I know it's in Acts 13. Let me pull it up. Here we go. This is the book of Acts chapter 13. Excuse me. Acts chapter 14, verse 22. It says, strengthening the souls of the disciples, exhorting them to continue in the faith, and saying that through many tribulations, we must enter the kingdom of the Most High. So this is the Apostle Paul. He's exhorting fellow disciples within region of Asia Minor. And he's saying that through many tribulations, that's how you enter into the kingdom. Because it's that, like, if you read the accounts and you read Paul's time, you literally had men plotting to destroy him and saying they wouldn't eat or drink until he was dead. You had all types of things happening to the disciples, but their faith and their hope and their confidence was in the Most High and the promises. So there was, something that you had to give in order to receive. But I yield right there.
You can go back to John 16, that you brought out a good scripture right there.
You want the KJV?
Yeah. So when we look at this, y'all, it made me think of something. So it says, verse 2 says, they shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth God service. So these people will think that they're actually Christians. They actually think they follow Christ. They actually think that they serve the Most High God when they proceed in this action of killing the people who they deem not necessarily serving the Most High. But he's saying Yahushua, the Messiah, is saying these people that are being killed are actually serving him correctly. The verse 3 says, and these things they would do unto you because they have not known the Father, nor me. So they don't know the Father. How do we understand or come to terms with how we know the Father? By keeping his commandments. When you know the Father, that's your way of knowing him intimately, by doing the things he tells you to do. And it says, nor me. So they don't actually keep the commandments that the Messiah brought forth either, which are the same commandments. He just was able to magnify them and teach them and break them down more thoroughly so they could be understood and explained, because he says out of his own mouth, the words he speaks aren't his own words. So in a vacuum, these people would be false Christians who wouldn't be any better than the Islamic suicide bombers that think that they're serving their false God by bombing people and killing themselves. They would be equal to these people. But yeah, that's something that came to my head when I read that and brought that verse out. But yeah, we can continue going unless you want to add a point to that also.
No points, King. All praise to the Most High.
Khan, all praises. So let's go back to Daniel chapter 6 and let's get verses 11 through 15.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 6, beginning at verse 11. Then these men assembled and found Daniel praying and making supplication before his God. Then they came near and spake before the king concerning the king's decree. Hast thou not signed a decree that every man that shall ask a petition of any god or man within 30 days, save of thee, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions? The king answered and said, the thing is true, according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which altereth not. Then answered they and said before the king, that Daniel, which is of the children of the captivity of Judah, regardeth not thee, O king, nor the decree that thou hast signed, but maketh his petition 3 times a day. Then the king, when he heard these words, was sore displeased with himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him, and he labored till the going down of the sun to deliver him. Then these men assembled unto the king, and said unto the king, Know, O king, that the law of the Medes and Persians is, that no decree nor statute which the king establisheth may be changed.
Khan, I think it's important, y'all, that we understand. In verse 14, it says that the king, when he heard these words, was sore displeased with himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him. And he labored till the going down of the sun to deliver him. So he was trying to find a way out for Daniel. He wanted to find a way that he could be able to alter this law where Daniel wouldn't be sent to the lion's den. And a lot of the times when we've seen this story illustrated, whether it's in some type of cartoon or some type of Bible story, they're not accurate with these stories. They try to make it seem like Darius, where they don't highlight that he was very upset when he understood what had happened and that Daniel was going to have to go down into the lion's den. In verse 15, it says, Then these men assembled unto the king and said unto the king, Know, O king, that the law of the Medes and Persians is that no decree nor statute which the king established may be changed. So they understood that King Darius was trying to find a way out for Daniel. So they reminded him, hey, you know that no decree or statute that you made can be changed. That goes against the law of the Medes and Persians. So he couldn't break that law. So let's continue reading and see what happens, unless you want to add something.
Nothing to add, King.
All right, let's read 16 through 22.
This book of Daniel, chapter 6, verse 16. Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, Thy God whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. And the stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet, and with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. Then the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting. Neither were instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him. Then the king arose very early in the morning and went in haste unto the den of lions. And when he came to the den, he cried with lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living God, is thy God, whom thou servest, continually able to deliver thee from the lions? Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, live forever. My God hath sent his angel and hath shut the lions' mouths, that they have not hurt me. For as much as before him innocency was found in me, also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt.
So looking at verse 16, it says, Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, Thy God, whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. So Darius, he had a hope. This is not him actually knowing this, because he don't serve the Most High. He don't serve Yahweh. But he's having a hope and he's having some type of faith that the Most High is going to deliver Daniel, because he's seen how fervent Daniel has been. He's seen that he's been devoted to the Most High. He knew, because when we read earlier in the chapter, he understood that he had an excellent spirit. He understood that he was exceedingly greater than all the other counterparts that he had. And this is why King Darius sat him as his second in charge. So he had some type of faith that the Most High was going to deliver him, because he saw that he had that set apart spirit. So it says in verse 18, then the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting. He couldn't eat. Neither were instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him. He didn't want to hear no music. Then the king arose very early in the morning and went in haste into the den of lions. So he hurried down there, trying to find out, like, hey, man, I hope Daniel's still okay. Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, Salakias, verse 20, and when he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living God, is thy God, whom thou servest continually, able to deliver thee from the lions? So he wanted to know, was he alive? Let's go to lamentable. Let's look at this in the Hebrew, so we can understand the mindset of Darius and his tone at this point while he's speaking to Daniel. And you may be on mute, Ak, if you're talking, or maybe it froze up. Oh yeah, he froze up for a second. Y'all give us a second. Yeah, I can see he loading back in.
Salaki, I don't know what happened just now. But this is H6088. It says atsav, and it's a verb. Biblical usage says to pain, grieve, and pial, pained participle. Then it says to afflict, lamentable.
So he was in a pained mindset. The way he spoke to Daniel, looking to see if Daniel was still alive, he was in grief, Salakia. So he was in hope that, man, I hope he's still alive. But he was a little cautious and in pain at the thought of what could possibly have happened to Daniel. Verse 21 says, then said Daniel unto the king, O king, live forever. My God have sent his angel and have shut the lion's mouth, that they have not hurt me. For as much as before him innocency was found in me, and also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt. So this is just a beautiful display of the faith that Daniel had that allowed the Most High to work in his favor. Because if he doubted the Most High, things wouldn't have went this way. If you could give me 2 Peter 2 verse 9. I know you got a point you want to make also.
No, you pretty much highlighted it.
God.
2 Peter, and what was the verse?
2 verse 9.
God, it's the book of 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished.
God. And when we look at this word temptation, this don't just mean something that you're tempted with. This is trouble. And you can get it in the Greek so everyone can see that. It says
God.
The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptation. So this is out of trials, tribulations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished.
God, and this is G3986 perasmas, and the usage is an experiment, attempt, trial, proving, the trial made of you by my bodily condition, in reference to Paul, the trial of man's fidelity, integrity, virtue, constancy, an enticement to sin, temptation, whether arising from the desires or from outward circumstances. Then it speaks more on that. And then it says, of the condition of things or mental state by which we are enticed to sin or a lapse from the faith and holiness, adversity, affliction, trouble sent by God and serving to test or prove one's character, faith, holiness. Then it says temptation, i.e. trial of God by men, rebellion against God, by which his power and justice are, as it were, put to the proof and challenged to themselves.
And you don't have to do the definitions. If you could scroll back up to which one? Yeah, at the D. It says adversity, affliction, trouble sent by God in serving to test or prove one's character, faith, and holiness. So this is what Daniel went through. This was adversity. It was affliction or trouble that was sent by the Most High to prove his character and his faith. His faith was being tested. This wasn't just, okay, Daniel going through something because these people don't like him. The Most High allowed him to go through these things to prove his faith, and also to show the strength of his God. You know, at this point in time, people had to be like, those princes had to be very upset when Daniel came out without a scratch on him. But they also had to understand that this God that this man is praying to and that he serves, this is a powerful God. And Ak, if you want to add something, you can.
No, I definitely concur. And yeah, I mean, only point, and you kind of spoke to it already, but in verse 22, it says that, Daniel, he says that he was found innocent, or some translations it says pure or blameless in the sight of the Most High. And when you remember what we read earlier on in the chapter, one of the points that was highlighted is that they say the way that they can find occasion against Daniel is, via the law of his God. But Daniel, as regard to his condition in this situation and where he was at, he wasn't an offense to the law, for, again, being an exile and things like that. He wasn't doing anything wrong. He was walking in the ways of faith and obedience to the Most High. So they couldn't find offense there. So since Daniel was innocent in that realm, the Most High protected them. And it even speaks about, how an angel closed the mouth of the lion. And so that's why you read in certain scriptures, I think it's in the Psalms, maybe Psalm 34, where it speaks about how the angel encamps, around, I believe, encamps around the righteous, roughly paraphrasing, but I yield right there.
All praise to the Most High. And If we could, let's finish out this these few verses. We're just gonna read verses 23 through 26.
Con. So book of Daniel chapter 6 verse 23. Then was the king exceeding glad for him, and commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no manner of hurt was found upon him, because he believed in his God. And the king commanded, and they brought those men which had accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of lions, them, their children, and their wives. And the lions had the mastery of them, and brake all their bones in pieces, or ever they came at the bottom of the den. Then King Darius wrote unto all people, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth, peace be multiplied unto you. I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom men tremble in fear before the God of Daniel, for he is the living God and steadfast forever, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall be even unto the end.
Con. So verse 23 says, Then was the king exceeding glad for him, and commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no manner of hurt was found upon him, because he believed in his God. And you can probably imagine the King Darius probably had him a big glass of wine that night. But when you look at that word, it says that he believed in his God. Him believing in his God doesn't just mean he acknowledged that he exists. Him believing mean he had faith at the Most High was going to do the things he told him he would do if he was obedient to him. This is another perfect example of what faith is. That faith isn't about words. Faith is about action. This can apply to us in this day and age as we go throughout our life and we're keeping the commandments. And then we find ourselves in a situation and then we start asking ourselves, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. Yes, you do. If you honestly trust the Most High, if you honestly believe in the Most High, that means you believe everything he said that he's going to do. And you can't waver in that faith, because once you do, you don't really believe him. And now you shut it down. You stop the power that the Most High has to protect you, to provide for you, when you start to doubt that he's going to do these things, because it's like you don't believe these words that he said. And that's why when you look at belief and you look at trust in the Most High, they go hand in hand. It's the same exact thing. So verse 24 says, and the king commanded, and they brought those men which had accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of lions, them, their children, and their wives. And the lions had the mastery of them, and break all their bones in pieces, or ever they came at the bottom of the den. So the Most High turned this thing around on the people that were the accusers, the devils that we spoke of, the adversaries. And I want you to go to Isaiah 41, verses 10 through 12.
So book of Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee, yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing, and they that strive with thee shall perish. Thou shalt seek them, and shalt not find them, even them that contend with thee. They that war against thee shall be as nothing, and as a thing of naught.
Verse 10, fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. The Most High ain't upholding us when we're actually wicked. He's going to uphold you when you're righteous. And he's doing this, and we have to understand when he does this, or when we're doing the things we doing, this should cause us to not have fear. We know we got the Most High with us. So who cares about what man threatens us with, or how they may try to accuse us of being someone we're not? The Most High got the last say so. It says, behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing. And they that strive with thee shall perish. Those people had to be ashamed and confounded when Daniel came out and nothing had happened to him. They had to be. It says, thou shalt seek them and shalt not find them. Even them that contended with thee, they that war against thee shall be as nothing and as a thing of naught. And that's what happened to his adversaries. They didn't exist anymore. They were destroyed by those same lines that they tried to weaponize against Daniel. And Ak, if you want to add something, you can.
No, nothing to add, King. Excellent points.
Khan, all praises. So let's look at verse 25 and 26 in Daniel 6 again.
Khan.
So it says, then King Darius wrote unto all people, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth, peace be multiplied unto you. I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom, men tremble and fear before the God of Daniel. For he is the living God and steadfast forever. And his kingdom, that which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall be even unto the end. So this certain situation caused King Darius to notify, to spread the word about the Most High. So he was made great. His name was magnified among the people. This wasn't the plan that these princes had when they came against Daniel. But this is how we know and understand the Most High. He allows things always to happen for his will. His will was that his name was going to be magnified among the people of the land. His will was that Daniel was going to go through this test and pass it and believe in him that he was going to deliver him. And this is why he allowed him to go through these things. He trusted, just like we see with Job. When Satan came to the Most High, he asked about being able to tempt someone. And the Most High said, hey, go try my servant Job. He's righteous. He's a perfect, upright man. So he trusted, the Most High trusted that Job was going to do what he needed to do to survive and pass that test in order for his will to be established. Let's look at Isaiah 45, verses 22 through 25.
Done. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, beginning at verse 22. Look unto me, and be ye saved, all the ends of the earth. For I am God, and there is none else. I have sworn by myself, the word is going out my mouth in righteousness, and shall not return. That unto me every knee shall bow, every tongue shall swear. Surely shall one say, in the Lord have I righteousness and strength. Even to him shall men come, and all that are incensed against him shall be ashamed. In the Lord shall all the seed of Israel be justified and shall glory.
So that last verse says, in the Lord, or in Yahweh, all the seed of Israel is going to be justified and shall glory. Now, this is separate from what we see earlier in verse 22. It says, look unto me and be ye saved, all the ends of the earth, for I am God and there is none else. I have sworn by myself, the word is gone out of my mouth in righteousness and shall not return, that unto me every knee shall bow, every tongue shall swear. So the Most High's purpose being accomplished on this earth is going to end up with everybody's knee bowing, even if they're not a part of those that are being justified. The Most High is going to be made known to all creatures, and everyone's going to know who the Most High is, that he's the all-powerful God, the almighty God of this earth. And Ak, if you want to add something, you can before I grab this next scripture.
Nothing to add, King.
Let's get Isaiah 66, 23 and 24.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 66, beginning at verse 23. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me, but their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh.
All flesh is gonna come worship before the Most High. They won't have an option to do nothing different from that. And let's look at Zechariah 14, 16 and 17.
16 through 17.
Yes, sir.
It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 14, beginning at verse 16. And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain.
So what we see at the end of Daniel chapter 6 is that the Most High's magnified among all of the people of this land. We see the same thing in Zechariah 14, that everyone that's inhabiting the earth at this point in time will know who the Most High is, that he is the Almighty, and that they don't have an option to do something different than come and worship him, or there's going to be a consequence. It says, and it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem, and this is letting us know that some of these people in these nations have been destroyed before this time comes to pass, shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain. And you know and understand what happens if there's no rain on your land. What happens? You can't eat. There's no crops for you to eat. So this is what it's saying, that those that don't do so, they'll end up being destroyed, like those that it spoke of prior, that was not left of all the nations. But if you want to add something, you can. I think that's all I have.
No, nothing to add, King. Beautifully put, beautifully explained. Excellent lesson, King. Definitely appreciate it, man. All praises to the Most High.
Khan, all praise to the Most High, and I appreciate the reading. Also, we definitely appreciate everyone that tuned in. If you shared and liked the video, commented, we appreciate that also. And if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel or hit the notification bell, we ask that you do so. We do these lessons every Tuesday and Thursdays at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, unless something happens. But all praise to the Most High. If you just joining us for the first time today, we hope that you join us again in the near future. All praise, honor, glory to the Most High. And I don't have anything else. If you don't have anything else, you can close us out. If y'all got anything, you can post them in the chat. Any questions or just anything you want to comment, you can do so. And I'll give a few seconds just to make sure nobody has anything. And okay, I don't have that. I was going to share something with y'all, but I don't actually have it on this computer. Well, let me do it from my phone. I'll give it a second just to make sure nobody has nothing.
Just quick plug. I'm on TikTok. I put short clips on there, just explaining certain biblical concepts. Latest video I did was on Judges 5 and 11 concerning rehearse the righteous acts. That's typically misnomered and misapplied to teach, a specific concept that's not biblical. It reads in the KJV, rehearse the righteous acts. In this particular video that I posted today, I dive into that and I explain what the actual meaning is. So, that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing on that account. It's going to be short clips, typically under 2 minutes. So if y'all can, just make sure y'all follow me up on there if y'all got the TikTok app. I'll pass it back to you, brother.
Khan, and I'm getting this loaded up, y'all. I want to share something with y'all. Is any comments? Okay, you just your comment for the TikTok. Okay, I think I got it. So I'm about to share it to the screen. Let me delete this. Okay. So if y'all look at the screen, let me back out StreamYard on my phone. All right. So if y'all look at the screen, you'll see I'm sharing something. So that's the cover for my album that's going to be released on Passover, April 1st. And it's going to be released as Sunset. So it's one of those albums that you can listen to while you enjoy Passover, your Passover meal and going into the evening, you know, whether you having some type of get together or whatever the case may be. This is definitely going to be one of those albums that you will need to listen to. That's going to be perfect for Passover and going beyond into the Feast of Unleavened Bread also. This is the track list, 11 songs. It's a lot of spirit-filled music on this album, a lot of worship music, and you're definitely going to enjoy it. So make sure y'all set your reminders, set your calendars, Passover. You go and look for it on the streaming sites. It should be there around sunset. So all praise to the Most High. I'm going to make sure that whether you're on Eastern, Central, or Pacific time, that is going to be available at sunset your time. So just wanted to make that announcement. All praise to the Most High. And that's all I got, y'all. So guess we can close it out.
All praise to the Most High. We'll close it out with our numbers 6 and 24 on down. It says, Yahweh bless thee and keep thee. Yahweh make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. And with that, I'll say peace and shalom.
Shalom, Mark. Shalom, family.
It's only as good as what you practice. If you a practitioner of sin, homie, you a bastard. It take obedience and faith to be a child of God. Confess with your mouth and not with works, that's what we call a fraud. Get on the narrow path, cause destruction is on the broad. Even then, watch for the hook, gotta keep up your guard. How you be quoting the Lord's prayer but don't submit to God? How you think you gon' get the kingdom if you don't play your part? How you gon' comprehend the light while living in the dark? How you gon' choose what's wrong or right if you don't study his law? If it ain't in Yah's will, we don't want anybody's laws and ways constantly be on my mind. Definitely ain't it. If it ain't will, we don't want anybody's laws and ways constantly be on my mind. Cause I can't do it by myself. No, I can't. No, I can't do it by myself. No, I can't. Cause I can't do it by myself. No, I can't. No, I can't do it by myself.
Only God can save.
If I had to do it by myself, I know I wouldn't last. If I faced judgment from my past, I couldn't stand a chance. Chasing the high, chasing cash, all that living fast had me headed for destruction. direction with no turning back. Like a crash test dummy was headed for the crash. Surrendered it all, I gave it up, cause now I understand. Without the Most High, I'm nothing, my works are filthy rags. I took His grace and His mercy, but didn't take nothing grand. Follow Messiah very closely, I know He's standing. Know I'm gon' go through tribulation, but none that I can't handle. Nothing with the Holy Spirit, yeah, I'm tuned into the channel. Only look for approval from God, so I ignore the chatter. A lot of love, the things of the world don't even matter. Got on my armor, cause every day I'm prepared for a battle. I take heed to myself, cause falling out the faith, it can be grand. No weapon shall prosper, but they don't mean that they ain't gon' get cracked. If people gon' tempt me with something that's tempting, I know that He cracked. My help, it come from God, He in charge, I know that He bad. So I ain't giving up, I gotta win, just like it's a trap. Cause only if I endure to the end is God gon' save me. Cause I can't do it by myself. No, I can't. No, I can't do it by myself. No, I can't. Cause I can't do it by myself. No, I can't. No, I can't do it by myself. No, I can't. Cause I can't do it by myself. No, I can't. No, I can't do it by myself. No, I can't. Cause I can't do it by myself. No, I can't. No, I can't do it by myself.